Does everybody have their list of
I do.
10,000 ideas?
I have
And mine
literally
are so
nothing
good, and all of them are so
All
good.
mine are really good too. So,
I have nothing prepared.
We put this off specifically because I wasn't prepared and I didn't prepare.
Yeah, I
at all
didn't.
in the
I just
meantime.
never thought of anything.
Welcome, listeners,
Welcome
to
New Year.
It's a new year. It's a new Dames.
New Year.
It's a new year.
Or
New Dames.
not.
Is it?
Or is it?
Or not.
Or is it?
Or is it not? And is any of this for real?
Or not?
Or not.
Or not?
Or not?
So true, bestie.
So this is something we've been like the names, Dames, they can't speak. Names,
names.
Names and Dragons has served us well. But we have been considering for a while, for various reasons, that we might want to change it, and particularly because we're going to be starting a new campaign probably within the year. We're thinking, now feels like a good time for a rebrand. And
It's a rebrand. It's a rebrand. Let's say call it a
everybody
spade.
loves a
Call
rebrand.
a rebrand.
everyone loves a rebrand.
Yeah, and everybody knows that like
We
rebrands
love
are
a rebrand.
always successful and they never fail.
They never fail. And so
Jennifer, stop making me more anxious about this.
Sorry.
But here's the thing, dear listener. We haven't decided what to rename our podcast.
No, we have not.
So it's hard to rebrand when we don't have a brand to
But you don't gotta worry about that because let me tell you, I've come prepared with some absolute bangers.
I also have a long list of names that I've been preparing for like many years at this point. You can see.
Okay.
Oh
all right.
my
Wow.
Oh my god.
so long.
All right.
I feel like
We decided we were gonna do this a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fair. As the person who came up with the Dames and Dragons name, I have been vaingloriously clinging to it and dreading that this moment would ever come. So I didn't
And
prepare anything.
It has served us so well.
Yeah.
But it's time. Anyway, we all four came up with a lot of really good ideas, and so I hope you're ready to
Nope.
hear really good ideas from all four of us.
Yes.
Nope.
Before we start, I just want to say,
Nope.
do we want to start with your top picks, your bangers, or do we want to start with the low
well, I
ball?
think we should start with the
listen,
worst.
you can.
No, I'm starting with my top picks.
For comedy, I'm gonna start with some really stupid ones, and then I'm not gonna reveal.
I'm starting with smart ones that are good.
Right. Well, I'm
And
not
I
gonna
want
reveal.
us to name the podcast after them.
I only have one that I actually think is decent. And again,
mine are decent.
I can't be here for this.
and again, like this is
The anticipation's killing me,
comedy,
Noelle.
so you delete the part where I say I only have one that I think are decent, because what I'm doing this thing. It's called a bit.
I don't do bits. I only do
I'm not familiar.
bangers and mash.
Bits and guys, okay. First, just came up with one on the fly. Bits
okay.
and bangers. Bits and bangers.
Listen, okay,
Okay.
nope, that's the name for a porn podcast.
Bits and bangers and mash.
Oh.
I mean, here's the thing.
Bits
I'm
and
not,
bangers and after mash.
That is another type of porn
It's a
podcast,
type of breakfast.
Noelle.
It's a breakfast podcast name as well.
Well, we can't just be disqualifying names because they're names of porns.
Or breakfast.
I'm gonna have to cross off half
Actually,
my list if that's a problem for you.
I feel like if they're names of porns, we should give them like an
I think we
extra.
should. I think they need extra points on the
Yeah.
board
Yeah. For
because
names.
we
for
can
names
get
of
we can
porns.
get a
Well-
lot of listenership. a lot of
let's-
confused.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
That's what you want.
So here's another I've got some fun ones like
yes.
because I'm trying to really sell that we're doing something very high concept. It's theater of the mind.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna be like your little tabletop sommelier, bringing you.
Whoa.
Oh God, Hannah, the psychic damage
Hannah,
you're doing to me
Tabletop
right now.
sommelier is also a really great name.
That's true.
It's gonna be like a delicious like tabletop sampler platter for you to
Now-
chew on.
What if there was a name?
Yeah, I'm getting
you've,
there.
you've given it a lot of preamble, and frankly, I don't think anything
This
that you're
is
about to say is
like-
going to live up to the preamble.
Okay, so, like, here's some-
Tabletop
here's some-
sampler. I'm writing this on my list. It's
Yeah,
now
so,
my
like,
idea.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
great. I'm great. Anyway, another idea, again, high concept. It could be like
Another
like-
idea. You didn't tell us the first one.
I mean, these are ideas.
You didn't. No, there's not a name there.
There's no
You just gave us a
Well,
concept.
that's really.
We already have the concept, Hannah. That's the podcast we've been doing for
maybe
5
You
years.
just described our podcast pretentiously.
Maybe the real name was the concepts that we thought of along the way.
I don't think we can
Okay.
put that into the iTunes Apple
All right,
Store.
how about semi-professional tabletop experience?
I love it. Semi-professional.
Or what about the podcast formerly known as Dames and Dragons?
also really good. We'll have to come up with a symbol for that one though.
Or like, oh yeah, for sure. Bames and Baggins. Am I right, fellas? That's a great one.
I think we could potentially get sued by Mr. Tolkien's estate.
Oh, that's
for that one.
That's
We're
true.
not
They
going
are
to spell it. We're
famously
not going to spell it.
litigious.
We're going to spell it with a Z.
Okay, I want to propose something here. Because as much as I love hearing all of Hannah's lists, I want to make sure that we get some equal spread of time.
Sure.
You're right, Kat. Read your list.
No, I'm going to say round robin. We each say
Okay.
one. Juniper and I are going to come up with them on the
I
fly
love
based on your
that.
guys' ideas.
Oh, yes.
Juniper
Sorry,
looks very
Juniper.
sad, and I love to see it. So Hannah's idea was tabletop sommelier, I guess.
Or semi-professional tabletop
Experience.
gaming experience.
My first one that I wrote down a long time ago was fart.com.
Well,
Strong.
that's the name. I mean,
Strong.
shut it down.
That
We got
was
it.
strong.
We don't need to keep talking at this point.
Really strong.
And it's pretty
yeah.
brutal of you to be like, let's go around and say ideas when you knew you were going to decimate everyone
Yeah.
within a 5
Yeah.
mile
I also have
immediately out the gate.
fart.net, fart.horse, and fart.store.
No fart.gov, I noticed.
Wait, fart.horse?
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. That's the name.
And then the name of our
pretty good.
website
Pretty
would be
good.
fart.horse.com.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
fucking good. Yeah.
Again, do you think this will confuse the listeners?
No.
Let's not
No, that
forget.
makes complete sense.
No.
In my Discord lineup, I'm next.
Okay.
So I'm going to say fart.org.
Fart.org, really good.
Very original.
Oh wait, I have a good one.
Okay.
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 Okay. Wait.
Is a good suggestion.
Fart.
I know what you're trying to say, and it's amazing.
Fartutery board.
Fartcootery board, really good. I have hashtag fart, so
fartcootery
don't
board,
even
yeah.
try to steal that. And also hashtag my bleached asshole, which I don't know. I'm assuming that was some kind of inside joke at the time. Not sure about it.
Well, it's there on. I mean,
It's right there
an-
on the
That one I'm
list.
not-
It's an illegal document.
That one I'm
I don't think
No,
there's going to be
no,
any
I don't
porns of it, so we can cross that off
Yeah,
on our
that's-
list of worries.
yeah, very true.
How about sonic torture?
I'm gonna veto that one right now, just for the use of the term and the name and the
Again,
phrase Sonic.
I'm speaking like auditorily.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Sonic the Hedgehog Torture will be the new name of our podcast.
All right.
Which I thought you would like, Juniper, since you hate him so much.
Ooh.
I don't appreciate mind games being played with me.
Let's see. I have Goop and Slime is on here as a possibility.
What?
It's a good one.
Not sure. I don't know. Look, you have to ask the Noelle of many years ago, or I don't know,
Okay.
months ago. I keep
No,
saying
Noella
years.
many years ago had some interesting ideas about what would make a good podcast brand, and I really want to put her brain under a microscope and dissect it. But unfortunately, it has transmuted into
Well,
current
if you
Noelle's
did that
brain.
to a blue hedgehog, it would be called Sonic Torture. So, anyway.
I mean, actual play. It's what if it's like accidental play?
I have some.
I like
have
that.
some to do with
That
actual
has a porn
play.
factor.
I have snacktual play,
Oh,
and it has us, but we're like very sexy on the cover. I have
Oh.
whacktual play,
something.
something to do with I don't know, being whack or whacking off. There won't be any porns of it though.
Well, I'm thinking about the concepts of like, okay, so in tabletop gaming, we're not necessarily doing Dungeons and Dragons for the next campaign. So what are the like through lines? We've got dice rolling. That is a thing.
Campaigns.
Campaigns. We're telling
It's a
stories.
homebrew.
I have one with campaigns. It's called the Mad Gains campaign. We will have to start working out.
Oh, I don't think I can do that one.
I don't know
I mean,
about that. I don't know about that
yeah,
one.
that's going to be a lot of commitment.
What about
the bit.
what about the bad gains campaign.
That sounds like maybe it's like an audio thing, like gain as in an audio.
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
I was thinking it's like you're acquiring like bad stock, like you're buying a bunch of shitty
Yeah.
NFTs that are depreciating in value. What about it's on the top of a table. It's tabletop gaming.
Mhm.
What if we like it's like you're going to like a small town in Ireland and it's like top of the table to you.
I feel like that's a if any of us were Irish, that would be a great name.
We could
What if
become Irish.
we-
We could all move to Ireland and then start
Yes, you're right.
the new
If we move to Ireland and we're podcasting live from Ireland,
yes.
we can change our
Yeah.
podcast name to Top of the Table to you.
top of the table to you.
What
You
about
gotta say it like that.
and it's very simple, but what about just game time?
Game time.
It's game time.
I think that is also I
There's-
did look it up. It is also the name of a sports podcast.
I was gonna say, there's no way that's
some
taken.
along the lines of gaming. I have Gamergate here.
Oh yeah, that's because it's like
Yeah.
it's like a gateway into adventure.
Game Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Gay. Yes.
Game Boys.
Now
I like that
we're
better,
spelling.
But it might be confused as a video game podcast.
No.
We're
Why would-
spelling
why
this
would
no,
instead
no,
of-
as
yeah. Never
GAYM,
used.
right?
Yeah, with GAYM. Game Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. Yes.
Boys has an M in it.
Oh yeah. Gay.
Oh.
Boys.
Oh, wait, I have a genuine
Boys.
idea. I have a genuine non-comedy
Oh,
idea
Oh, okay.
that
Let's hear
I
it.
might have just lost in the time it took me to say those words. Hold on.
Fuck.
All right, let me just do a speed round here. I've got a lot to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
through.
I want to see. I'd love to see.
Yeah.
Frog and Fly Wizard Battle. No idea what that means, but it could
I
be
like
our
it.
it could be our name.
Actually, love that one.
Okay, great. Team Squat the pot.
I'm sorry. Team Squat. What?
Squat the
Squat
pot.
the pot. Yeah.
Team Squat the
Okay.
pot.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I got it again.
Oh,
Oh fuck! What is
cat.
it?
It's less cool now that I've thought of it a second time. But story rollers
ooh, story rollers. I'll write this
Ooh.
down.
Story rollers.
I'll write this
All
down.
right.
or story chants.
Story what? Champs? or
Story
chants?
chants.
Oh,
As in
chants.
chanting?
Ooh, story
Okay.
Oh,
rollers.
chant like taking a chance.
Wait.
Like taking a
Chance
chance.
cube. Chance cube.
Chance cube.
Chance cube. That's what
Chance
a
cube.
dice is in Star Wars.
It's
Oh,
fucking Star Wars prequels.
Gotta have
okay.
a chance cube.
Chance cube. Honestly, if it
Chance
wasn't
cube.
the name of dice in Star Wars, that would be a cool name. For
It's a great
It
podcast.
would be a cool name.
It's. I mean,
Honestly,
it
I
still
want
is.
to go back to Frog and Fly. Actually, genuinely like
Frog
that
and
one.
Fly Wizard Battle. You like that one?
Oh, that
I
is
like-
good.
I like that Frog and Fly Wizard Battle, or just Frog and Fly podcast. It means
Frog and
nothing,
Fly.
and I kind of love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll
right.
take that one under advisement.
You want to hear my good one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
So my good one, so little setup for you guys. So what do you call when someone makes like their own, like they take a game that exists, but they like change up some of the stuff to make kind of their own game? What's a word for that?
Hack?
Yes. And now what do you call like a comedian who like isn't very good?
A hack.
Oh.
Hacks and
So
hacks.
Bad.
I was thinking, no, I was thinking hexes and hacks.
Oh, hexes and hacks. Ooh.
You got your Dungeons and Dragons or, kind of like alliteration thing. You've got the double meaning of the word hack that implies both comedy and that you're like kind of modifying a pre-existing game. And you got a little bit of magic.
Here's my I
Good.
like the concept. I love the core of this. I wonder if we want to move away from the and
oh,
in our
that's
because
true. Because then it'll be like hexes and hacks, dames and dragons.
yeah.
Well, I see what you're saying because the
Yeah.
subtitle.
Mhm,
Shrug.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my only
That is
decent
on,
one.
That's on the list.
No,
As a
I like
possibility.
It's
I
good.
like the core here. I like hexes. I like magic. I like leaning into a sort of like wizard identity.
Wizard
I want-
identity.
Wizard Identity. That's the new
That's
one.
a good name.
What do you think about
Wizard
the name
identity.
Googie's Big Adventure?
Oh, yes.
But then we're gonna steal the title from your upcoming children's book, Noelle.
You're right.
Yeah.
I got Anyone Can Wear Shoes, the podcast.
Oh, my God.
I've got Lil Stinker Club,
Oh, love that.
Yaya Masters.
Oh.
Yaya Masters.
Masters of the Yaya verse.
And then Masters of the Yaya-verse. I also have Rule of
Also
Yaya,
good.
which I think was supposed to be a pun about rule of law, but I don't really know where that was going.
I
then I
like
have
Can't do Rule of Yaya because that is the name of my fiance's best friend.
I don't think Yaya would mind if it was Rule of
Yaya's not
Yaya.
gonna-
No,
mind.
but I would
You would
only
mind.
ever think of Yaya.
Yeah, Cat
The-
would mind. Cat would mind.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I guess if it's someone you know. I also have the Gremlin Committee.
Oh, that's
Good.
nice. I like committee being.
I like committee,
committee's
too.
Good.
The Goblin
Yeah.
Committee.
Yeah.
The fart committee.
fart committee.
Ooh, the fart committee.
I feel like we need to have something that's like, if we're gonna have something committee, it has to be like at least like tangentially related to fantasy, as in
It could be the
goblins or gremlins.
campaign committee.
What about the Table Magic podcast?
Table magic.
Table magic.
We'll write it down.
We're gonna do up close magic at the table.
I know that is the downside of it, but it is
Yeah.
also table magic is a form of an illusion.
That's good. That's
Let's
good.
see. Let's see. What have I missed? Bootleg babies. I don't know what that means, but I do love it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Bootleg babies. And then I think I have a bunch of lists of babies. Where are they?
Oh
Game
my
babies,
God.
quest babies, adventure babies, table babies.
I don't listen. If we're trying to move away from Dames and Dragons as like an identifier, I don't want people to start calling us the babies.
I want to be the baby.
I don't want to be the babies.
Wait, okay, actually, no, that's a great point, though. What do
love
we
to
want
be the
people to identify us as? Like, what creature?
I have the jester questers and the quester jesters.
Oh my god.
Quester jesters, I like. The jester questers, I don't know, not it.
I also have questy jestes.
Ooh.
That sounds too much like
Questy
Testes.
Jesties.
What about
Yeah, no, that's good. That's got the
What
porn
about-
factor. That's good.
Shut
Right.
the fuck up. What about the Jester Committee?
Ooh, the jester committee.
The
The
Jester
Jester
Committee.
Committee.
It's almost there.
So close.
So close.
It's right there. Okay.
What about the Jester Conclave?
Ooh, I kind of like that.
The Jester
The
Conclave.
Jester
The
Conclave.
secret order
Okay,
of jesters.
hold on. Let's think about. Okay, going back to things that are related to tabletop gaming. Something about chance. Something
Chance.
about you could do like Illusory Luck podcast, Fool's
You know
Luck podcast.
Fool's Chance.
Both of these sound like the name of a gambling hall in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Tough Luck Table has some ring to it, but I don't know.
But again, it sounds like a kitchen podcast.
Yeah.
This is harder than I thought.
I know, it's hard as stuff.
I knew it was going to be hard, and that's why I've been putting this off for so long.
Yeah, it's awful. It's
Noelle,
awful.
do you have any other secret ones?
Jellicle, the Jellicle
word
podcast.
The Jellicle Cat.
Wow, you really
No.
The
Cat.
Jellicle Cat with a K's podcast.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and then it's the
let's-
Jellicle Cats with a K.
Let's just
Yeah,
rename our podcast to Cats, but with a K.
no,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's-
actually, that's a great idea.
What about the Bear Luck podcast?
Bear,
The bear
luck.
Cat, I don't know about
You and
that.
your bears.
Wait, Cat. You said bear luck.
Yeah.
But what about bear lug?
Or what about Bear
What are you
Fuck?
saying?
What about Bare Naked?
What about the Bear
What
Naked-
about
bear
What about the Bare Naked Ladies podcast?
Yeah.
what about what about barely a podcast?
That's pretty funny. I like that.
That's very funny, but it doesn't evoke storytelling in
says
any
nothing.
way, but I do like it.
Bad biddy committee.
You're right. You're right.
What is something else that's like a committee where it's like people sitting at a table? Council?
A bureau, a council, a senate.
Council.
I do like the idea of senate.
Oh my god.
What about the bureau of little guys?
The little guys committee.
So official. I don't want to be.
Everything's so hard.
I don't think we
I
should
know.
count out fart.horse.com.
What about okay, you know how you can have a chance meeting? What if it's mischance meeting?
Oh, I like that.
Fellowship.
Fellowship.
Oh.
Fellowship does evoke fantasy for some
It
reason I
does.
can't legally specify.
Fellowship.
The Fortune Fellowship.
Misfortune
The Fellowship of Fortune.
Miss
Both
Yeah.
of those things sound so epic, and I don't know if that's the vibe.
Yeah,
we
it's
want.
true. It's true.
What about frog fellowship?
I think
Frog
that sounds
Fellowship.
like a podcast where we're reenacting Lord of the Rings as frogs.
Well, wait, what if it's...
I mean, new campaign.
I do
Fellowship
okay, yes.
of the Frogs.
I like Mischance Fellowship better than Misfortune.
Misfellowship.
Words don't mean anything
The Council of Trustees on the topic of fantasy tabletop.
What a
The Fellowship
okay,
Council.
That's a good
I'm
name.
gonna put out a new word that we haven't been considering.
Yeah.
Quest.
Okay,
Quest.
I have it, and
Queef
it's Quest or Jesters.
Yeah, but no,
Quest
we need to just
babies.
isolate the word quest.
What about
Quest babies.
Quest baby?
I'm gonna keep
What about illusory quest?
Quest
The
babies.
illusory quest of babies.
What about
Questy
the
Jestes. Testes.
quest? The quest committee.
The quest
Or
committee.
what about
The Quest Senate.
the Bad Quest podcast?
the bad
The bad quest.
The Bad Quest podcast.
Wait, I propose instead of bad, naughty.
No.
No, vetoed.
But then
Absolutely
we'll
not.
have porn of it. We want that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. How about if it's like we want to bring bad in, but also like that's fantasy. What if it was like Bad Dragon?
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
I don't know. what
That sounds like again
Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon.
You guys don't.
That isn't that.
I don't know what
Isn't
that is.
that literally a dildo
Yes,
line?
yes, that's the joke. It's an
Not-
infamous.
Sorry.
It's an infamous dildo line.
All right,
Everyone
well,
knows about
I'll just
it.
take your word for it, Hannah. I think we should name it the Bad Santa Podcast. We could also use the word romp.
Romp
No.
Quest.
Romp quest.
Rompy rompers. Rumping
I'll
rompers.
kill you.
Quest
Frog
babies.
Quest.
Quest
Okay,
babies.
Adventure Quest is already a thing, right? Adventure
Yes,
Quest
it is.
is
Yes,
already.
it is.
It's too much like I feel too like
Adventure
adventure
babies,
zone.
adventure
But
Right.
also
babies.
Adventure Quest is a thing. Yes, but
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Erroneous quest.
The
Erroneous
Council of the
babies.
Fellowship.
The return of the two fellowships.
What about Lark Quest?
Lark. Oh, like a lark. Like out
Like
on a
a
lark.
Like a lark.
A lark, which
I
is
like
also
lark. I don't know about
I like lark.
Quest. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but I do like
Yeah.
lark.
Well,
I like
okay.
lark.
The only thing I'll say about Lark Quest
Lark
is that
babies.
everybody's gonna hear LARP.
I know.
as well.
Bob Lark. Mal Clark.
The big clop lark. Clop lark
.com.
dot horse.
I'm lark. I'm larking it. I'm thinking on lark.
Live, laugh, lark.
Devil Quest.
Live, laugh, lark.
Lark,
Frog and Lark.
lark
We're going back to the
babies.
anthem.
Lark babies.
Fuck off.
Lark babies.
What if it's like lark committee?
Wait,
Larp and lurk. Lark and lurker.
lark.
Larpers.
Okay, give it. Come on.
LARPing lark.
Other words. Okay, we have lark as a word. What's a word? that
Larping
could go-
babies.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's. What
rhymes
about
with
what about LARPing adults?
I'll kill you. I'll kill every single one of you except Cat.
I mean, okay, I'm ignoring Noelle and Juniper right now.
Yeah.
What about, I mean, I could do like the Bad Lark podcast.
Oh, because it's like luck.
I'm looking up words that start with L. Lark legends. Long shot larks.
Well, actually, okay, wait, no. Legend Lark podcast.
Legend lark sounds kind of cool.
Legend
Does
Lark
kind of sound
podcast.
pretty cool because we've got the triple meaning of lark in there.
Yep.
A lark as an adventure, a lark as a joke,
Yep.
a lark as a bird. Legend, cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Legend lark. Should it be one word or two words?
Ooh, Legend Lark as one word is kind of sexy.
I kind of like it as one word.
Yeah, it's kind of sexy. Highlight it.
I have a good idea. It's called Legend Babies.
I'll kill you!
All right, babies, let's play D&D. I offer you a sacrifice of words and of will, of power and ages. You who hold our world captive and safe. I offer you a sacrifice of blood and of magic, of life and of death. These mortals you made, these mortals left to my care. Those who seek glory through conquest, those who strive for more than they are given. I offer you a sacrifice. Their prayers through me. I offer you a sacrifice. Rael, who gave me purpose. Rael, who set me this task. Rael, who made me God, unending, unceasing, forever to strive, to claim more than I am given. I offer you a sacrifice, that you may grant me the strength to complete the task set before me, once and for all. Okay, so let's get started.
We're in the train.
You're in the train, so you are all huddled in the conductor's car, which is separated from the first class passenger car by a metal screen of looping bronze. Outside the window of the train, there is nothing but the utter darkness of the tunnels, lit up every so often by the flash of fire as Falda shoots her gun at monsters and creatures that might try and block the train's path. Salni keeps her eyes straight ahead, her grip on the knobs and levers, turning her knuckles bone white as she takes slow, deliberate breaths in and out. The train is packed tightly with wailing, crying dwarves who huddle together. A woman holds her crying baby close to her chest while her wife and husband hold her in their arms. Two children hold each other's hands tightly, their faces tear-streaked but stoic as they stare out the black windows. There is booming in the distance, and the train shudders with a distant impact, but it keeps going. You spot Daniel huddled on the floor. He's lost that fey light in his eyes, and he clutches the wicker cat basket tightly. Mary collapses next to you, Fran, and immediately begins running her hands over your injuries, smearing big golden tears that fall onto your skin, and infusing them with more magic to stabilize and heal your wounds. How are you guys doing?
Bad, Todd.
Yeah, I think staying close to Fran since she's all crispy.
Cat, can I have a cool lightning scar?
Yes.
Oh, lightning
Sweet.
scar granted. Okay.
Where on your body is the lightning scar?
Yeah.
I think it is the kind of crux of it is at my shoulder, and then it like spreads up my neck and down my arm and kind of up a little bit on the side of my face and like the back of my head.
Oh, is it one of those branching scars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
like the Lichtenberg scars.
yes, and the places where it is on my scalp, my hair doesn't go.
Oh. What color is it?
A lighter version of my skin. It's kind of like almost white.
So Fran's got her cool lightning scar. It's like you're just sort of hovering over Fran.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Obviously, a little stressed out. It's been a time, and I'm thinking about the fact that, like, all these people just lost their home, and that we barely made it out ourselves.
Fran sits up and kind of pushes everyone away from her and looks down at her scar and huddles in on herself.
Fran, are you all right?
Fran's eyes flicker towards you, and she shrugs, and she says, "What now?"
Well, the train will keep going and take us to... Where does the train go?
Selny looks back and says, wanted to talk to you guys about that. The train's bound for Onya, but we can change tracks at the next junction and go to Yoruba instead. Onya is set in a caldera, I guess. It's got open air above, and it's in a sheltered bay. If Torva hasn't taken it already, I'd be fucking shocked, but if you have any favors of call in, they might be able to get through to us there.
What about Yoruba?
Yoruba's a mining town. That's maybe putting it lightly. They're kind of the mining center. Way more secure, but they won't have nearly as many supplies. All their food is shipped in from Estodel and Onya, so we might run into supply issues there.
And I guess we couldn't really call reinforcements.
Not from Yoruba, no. That's only way to get there is by this train line.
Well, so I guess it's a matter of...
Mary signs, it's a rock and a hard place.
Mary.
She signs, is it too soon?
It's a little soon.
I mean, it's an apt metaphor. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, I suppose Torva can get to either place. I mean, with the dragon and everything, surely. This other city's underground, though, isn't it? Yoruba?
Selly nods.
Okay, so if Torva were to try to send his forces there, they'd all have to come to this train tunnel?
Selly nods again. Yeah, like I said, heaps more secure. Just, she looks back at the train full of refugees and sighs and says, I just don't know how long we can hold out there.
Oh, like, we could collapse the tunnel behind us, but then we might run out of food in like a siege type situation.
Mary signs, we've seen how bad that can get. And, she also looks out and she signs, I can make food, some, for a while. I don't know how much magic I can access down there.
Oh.
Or if now that the doors are broken, we have free access? I don't know.
I mean, I guess if we went to Anya, we could have our allies come help us and have like a big battle, but, I don't know what we should do right now.
And Mary balls up her fists for a second and then she signs, we have to stop him here. I don't know what's going on with the dragon he's building, but if he's using the heart of the continent, if he's using the heart of a giant, I can't. If he finishes that, what's going to happen to the whole? She motions around you guys. Everything. Whatever he's planning, we have to stop him.
Mary, I get where you're coming from, but Fran is so fucked up, and we're all basically at the end of our ropes. I mean, I don't know what we would actually be able to do like this. And there's nowhere for us to go to, like, recoup. 'Cause he's all over the continent already.
Mary gives sort of a frustrated shrug and then signs, I don't know, but we can't run. We can't abandon everyone. We can't. After everything else that we've done, we can't give up now. Sally takes her hands off the controls and clenches her fists and she says, I'm going back. Whatever you guys are doing, I don't care. I'm going back.
Back? Back to what?
I'm going back to Estodel. I'll drop you off at Onya or Yoruba, whatever you think is better, but I'm going back to Estodel.
So, Selny, I would like to remind you, me, Mary, and Fran had our home completely destroyed by Torva. We don't get to go back to it at all anymore. So, we understand what it's like to have to lose your home. But it's always better to live than to die for no reason in a home that you cannot save.
We can still save it.
You can't.
I can't go. Selny shakes her head. She says, I don't know if you can understand it, but I can't go. Not while there's anyone in the Dwarven Warrens who needs saving. I've already fucked up this kingdom enough. I'm going to save as many people as I can, and I am going to shoot that fucker through the heart, or die trying.
I mean, but is he...
As she says this from the top, you hear Falda shriek, "No, you're fucking not!"
Good.
And Falda comes in down through the window. She swings in, boots first, and she says, "You," she points at Selny, "are the next in line for the throne of fucking Essedal. You're not going back there, you stupid crazy bitch."
I mean...
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it that cruelly, but I do agree.
Falda points at you guys and she says, "You should go back. She should stay here, or wherever, and not risk her life. Selny, you can't seriously be considering this." And Selny just sort of gives Falda a look, and then looks back at you guys and says, "You gotta decide where we're taking the refugees, though. First things first."
I might actually have an idea about that.
Everyone looks at you unexpectedly.
It's kind of complicated. Fran, I would need your help.
Fran shrugs and holds out a hand like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, cool. And also we'd have to stop the train for a hot minute. And then we'd have to start the train again. And then we'd have to drive it into a giant vine.
Selny looks at you, Corbin, kind of she looks at you like she's heard the words you said. And they've just gone straight over her head. She just looks at you like you've just spoken in another language. She just blanks. She goes, this is some fucking magic bullshit.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I'm a druid. Hi.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Don't explain it to me. I don't want to know.
Basically.
No.
I'd like to know.
No, basically.
Okay, Slake wants to know. So, I can open a portal in a big plant.
Be damned. Oh,
for
she
10
puts her hands
seconds.
over her ears.
And I can make it go to any other plant that's big that I've ever seen. But only for 10 seconds. So, the whole train would have to go into this big vine, really fast. And then it would come out. It'd be a bumpy landing, for sure. But then it would come out literally anywhere that I've been before. So we could go to Madriha, we could go to Ilfra, we could go wherever you guys want to go with big plants that's not here.
Corbin, that's incredible!
Falda points
you.
at you, Corbin. She says, "I like his plan. I like the plan of not being here. Selny, listen, this is a good plan."
It's the first time anybody's ever said that to me, oh my god.
And Mary is nodding along enthusiastically. She says, "We can get all the refugees out then." She looks at Selny and says, "We've got to do it, right?"
Can we stop the train and start it?
Selny shudders and she says, "Yeah, we can, but we'll be opening ourselves up to whatever's been chasing us down the tracks, assuming something has been."
We wouldn't need to stop it for very long.
And some of us could, be on guard duty in the back. You got all those guns and things? Could just kind of aim it down the tunnel.
Selny nods slowly and she says, "Can you guarantee that this will work?"
Well, we'd have to time it really carefully. But, yeah. Yeah, I would say a 80% chance.
That's not a guarantee.
It's pretty high! Wait, you guys, a new plan. Maybe. What if we go to Yoruba and we get more people on the train who can't fight, and then we get everybody out?
Selny points to that. "I like that plan. As many non-combatants out of here as we can."
We'd be bringing Torva to the city if we did that.
Torva doesn't have to follow the train. The tracks are there. He knows where the other cities are. If he's going to attack them, he's going to attack them whether he's following us or not.
It is possible that he might just be waiting over there already for us to arrive, so that he can ambush us.
Mary signs that would follow the pattern. He had plans going in all of the cities on Roke before we stopped them. It wouldn't surprise me if he has other plans here in Esudel.
Fran this whole time has just been sitting by herself, but she's kind of been breathing harder and harder. And finally she stands up and she says, "So what difference does it make then? This is all useless. All we're doing and all we've ever done is fight Torva on his terms. We're just the opposing pieces on his game board. So if we want anything to change, we have to change what we're doing. Or how we're doing it. We're putting out fires he sets ahead of us, and we should be, like, I don't know, stealing his matches or something.
Well,
Whatever, just tell me when you've decided what we're gonna do." And she storms out of the cabin.
Fran!
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back. Did you miss us? We missed you. Oh, welcome back to the final arc of Dames and Dragons, and the first arc presented by Legend Lark. I hope you guys are all as excited about the rebrand as we are. You know, as you heard, it took us a minute to get there. In fact, it took about 4 times as many minutes as you listened to get there, but boy, did we get there in the end. And we're really excited about going forward in this new direction. So as we, I think I've elucidated elsewhere, this is not the final campaign or the end of Dames and Dragons. We are going to finish out this campaign, and then under the Legend Lark banner, we will start a new campaign, play a different game, do something new, have fun, be free. Yeah, and we're just really excited about it. So we hope you are too. Speaking of things that we're excited about, have you seen the new dice that are in the Dames and Dragons store? They are gorgeous. We released those this past December. They've been designed by our very own Hannah Colbert. They're beautiful, intricately designed, produced by Q Workshop. We are absolutely over the moon with them, and we think you will be too. So check out our store. That's going to be damesanddragons.store for now. With the rebrand and stuff, we will of course be updating our store, our social media, all of that stuff. We'll link it all back to Dames and Dragons, so it should be minimally disruptive for everybody. But for now, damesanddragons.store. Go check out those dice. They're beautiful. They have little designs on each dice representing different characters in the podcast. There's a cute little heart on the D20. There's a thumbs up for Mary. There's a little beetle representing Darius and Slake. There's a little crow, a little wolf, a little deer, and a little sparkles. They're very fun, so go ahead and go check those out if you haven't already. All right, so next I want to do Patreon shout-outs to all of our, maybe all of our new patrons since last time we thanked you. See, this is actually my second time recording this mid-roll because I accidentally deleted the first one without backing it up, because sometimes that's just life, baby. So I thanked all the patrons in our first mid-roll, and I'm going to do my very damnedest to recreate that list. But if I missed you, I'm so sorry. Know that I thanked you. I acknowledged it. I spoke it out into the universe, and then the universe, and certainly not me, the universe dragged it to my recycling bin and emptied the recycling bin without confirming that it was backed up on the cloud. What's up? Anyway, thank you so much to all of our patrons who are really just supporting the engine of this show. We appreciate you so much. We couldn't do it without you. That means I am going to thank Drew, Taylor, Vieka Orestes Besties, Noah Robinson, M. Chloe, Paige, Taryn, Jedrick, Emily, Holly, Suzanne, Gustavo, Chance, Naomi, Christopher, Beth, Zach, and Curtis. Thank you all so much for your support. I love you, and if there's anyone I missed, again, I'm sorry. The universe did this to us both. Please let me know, and I will give you a special shout out on the next mid-roll that I do, I guess. That's a pact between you and me, dear possibly missed person. You and me alone. Leave the others out of it. Anyway, if you are not able to support us on Patreon, we totally understand. Times are tough. Things are happening. We all got bills to pay. And maybe you're thinking, how else can I support this wonderful podcast? And the answer to that is to please leave us a review on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews help us climb the charts. They help us get new listeners. They help convince other people that our show is better than the other shows and that they should listen to it. So big thanks to Lurch's Lady Fire. It's Catch Fire, but they've removed the vowels from catch. So Fire and the Brain Witch. Thank you all so much for reviewing. We really, really, really appreciate it. And know that you live in my hearts always and forever. Oh, hey, remember when I was talking about that store? One of the things you can buy on that store is a one-time ad read. So we have one here from our good friend Tony. And Tony has this message. Have you ever sat at your office desk listening to this work of collaborative art instead of playing therapist to your coworkers? Is this the parasocial interaction you are looking for as you commute home instead of calling your roommates to figure out dinner plans? Do you happen to be the most beloved bi-sibling with the body to match? If these things sound like you might just be the familial love of my life. Dream. Drive safe, work medium, dream biggest. Thank you, Tony. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful message. If you would like for us to proliferate a message to your friends, family, loved ones, or enemies, drop by our store. Again, damesanddragons.store. You're gonna love the things that are there. I guarantee it. Oh, hey, one more thing. Are you a fan of beautiful sounds in your ears? We have the soundtrack for Arc 7 and the Hroskamp mini arc up on Bandcamp. You can check those out at noelcherie.bandcamp.com and get those beautiful sounds produced by our own beautiful Noelle into your beautiful ears. You'll also love the way that sounds, and I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Okay. Well, I think that's everything today. I hope you all are having a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you're looking forward to the rest of the arc and, everything that's to come afterwards. I hope that you eat a delicious soup, maybe have some nice crusty bread. I hope that you find a good cheese at the grocery store that makes you happy and fulfilled. And beyond all that, I hope you enjoy this message to Chantel. Chantel, the code word is Himbo Rights Activist. The sleeper agent is active. Go. In the age before there were gods, there were dragons. Born from that which is not, they hatched from eggs of unearthly beauty, hidden in deep hollow places until the time that they would emerge, in an eruption of chaos and terror. They were magnificent and horrible, and from them came the people who today call themselves Dragonborn. These armies of immortal dragons and their mortal kin swept across the land unopposed and all-consuming, taking by force that which was not surrendered to them. There were none who could stand against the dragons' cunning, their wit, or the devastation left in their wake. The mortal kind of Avalis lived in fear, appeasing the dragons with livestock and finery. When that was not enough, they sacrificed children, maidens, anyone who could not fight them off when they came in the night with shackles for their wrists and a cloth to muffle their screams. In one village there was one they called the Broken Man, for he had fought the dragons once, and while his body had survived, the rest of him had not. When they chained him, he did not scream. He did not try to run. He lay in the field where they left him and watched the night sky. They had given him a sword A cold comfort, for he knew already that a sword would do him no good. It lay in the dirt next to him, untouched. Instead, he counted the shining lights in the river of stars above, and waited for the darkness that would come with his last moments. He heard his name spoken, and the empty space inside this broken man filled with something else. "Bellius," the voice said, a voice of fire, of living energy, of burning and light and heat and the searing pain of being. And Bellius stood and picked up the sword. The strength that burned through him was more than he could bear, more than he could contain. It flowed through him and through the sword, which turned black as night beneath his grip. He held it in front of him and saw his own burning eyes reflected back in the strange blade. This was not the dull steel the village had left out of pity for a broken man. This was Bellius, the sword. When the dragon came, the villagers saw the fire spew from its mouth as they hid inside their homes. They saw the fire come again and again, lighting up the night and the shadow of the man they had thought was broken as he clashed with the beast. They saw him tossed back by the swipe of the dragon's claws, and they saw the man get up again. They saw him lashed by the dragon's powerful tail, and then they saw the man get up again. They saw him plucked from the ground and taken up into the sky in the space of 2 whooshing wing beats. And then they saw the dragon crash down from the sky in a blaze of fire and boiling blood. They watched the field smolder and burn, and it was not until the man that they had called broken walked to the edge of the village that they dared to emerge from their homes. The man they had left to die in the field had not come back. In his place was something else, something drenched in blood that steamed in the night, that burned with a light they could not see, something that held a black blade that opened its mouth to speak. "I am Bellius, the sword." He said this, and the words echoed strangely through the empty night. The wind caught them up and carried them too far, heralding something new in the world of what was. And so the first age of gods began, soaked in the blood of the dragon.
Well, Fran is under a lot of pressure right now, and I think we should let Fran go be over there.
So, we could take the refugees, but then if Torva is in that city, I don't want to deliver the refugees into his hands.
So Balthazar shakes her head and she goes, "You guys, you're thinking like fucking generals. We can't think about this like we're armies moving. We need information first. We need to think like spies, like thieves."
You know, Corbin, he can do this thing where he dreams and he sees what's going on. Why don't we have him do that?
Corbin walks over and says, "Don't tell people what I can do, Slake." But then he does pass out.
You just drop to the floor, dead, like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Why don't you make me a wisdom throw? Roll me a wisdom.
Great.
What did you get?
11.
11. Okay. So with an 11, Corbin, what do you want to see?
I just want to see, because what's the place we're going?
Yoruba, which is the underground city.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see, like, if possible, an overhead view of the entrance to Yoruba from the train.
All right. That's what you want to see, but you got an 11. So, here's what you do see. You see utter and complete blackness. Like, your eyes just are not adjusting to the light. You are just in this inky blackness, but you can hear and you can feel. And the earth is shaking and moving around you as you are pushing through the earth. You are digging your own tunnel as you just your teeth, powerful teeth, rip away the rock in front of you and spit it out the sides. Your mouth is full of earth, but that's the way it's supposed to be. That's right.
Yeah, it is.
And then you feel the earth in front of you give way to open air. And you feel the vibration of screams. And then you wake up.
Oh, what did you see?
Oh. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's complicated. My working theory as of right now is that the dragon is like a dirt dragon.
Why? What?
Well, so it was really dark, and then I was like this thing, and I was eating dirt, and but like I was going somewhere through the dirt, but I was also eating it. And then I came out, and everybody was screaming and running around, and I don't know, but yeah, I was in the dirt. I was like, nom, 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 nom.
Corbin, maybe you were a delver.
What's that?
The thing we fought that ate dirt?
You guys, I have no memory of this place.
When you guys were on the cart tracks, and then the cart tracks did get blown up under you, and then you summoned a big wave that ended up actually pushing the Delver off the tracks and into the...
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I now remember.
They're
I
like
didn't
big
remember.
shit monsters.
Yeah, the big
Okay.
piles of rock.
Well, anyways, it was bad. I don't know.
You said...
Everybody was screaming.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Screaming usually, in my experience, isn't a good sign.
And I mean, to be fair, I don't know where I was.
Selny, she takes in this information and says, what it sounds like is that Yoruba needs help.
I think it's also worth stating, I have 2 spells that I can use before I need to sleep for 8 fucking hours.
Well, it'll be at least 10 before we're at Yoruba, so you have time to rest. So, Fran, where did you go?
I think Fran is just looking for anywhere where she can be alone.
Fran does not find that. The whole train is absolutely packed. But as you are pushing through, Fran, as you're pushing through the train, you hear someone behind you raise her voice. She says, why couldn't you just leave us alone? And everyone in the train car turns towards this woman. She's cradling her arm, which looks badly broken. But she stands up and looks squarely at you, Fran, and says, you're the ones they were looking for. You brought your magic into our city, and now your gods are tearing it apart. Why couldn't you have just left us alone?
Fran looks at her, and tears start to well up in her eyes. She kind of nods, and then she says, okay, everybody out.
And nobody moves.
Fran sparks are like coming off of her body, and her eyes look like they're like glowing red, and she's like, get out of this car.
And then people start moving, and they are like scrambling out over each other and screaming. And Slake and Corbin, you see from where you are, as people suddenly rush into the car, packing in, and are screaming, she's going crazy! She's gonna kill us all!
What?
Hello, who?
Fran? And I start trying to push through the crowd to get to where Fran is.
God. Corbin
And a
follows.
woman, like, runs up to the grating between the conductor's car and the passengers, and she says, Lady Selny, you have to get them off this train. They're criminals. They don't deserve to escape. And then she points at Corbin, too. Him! He's one of them, too!
Corbin just flicks her off and then moves through the train.
We can talk about this later, I say to the lady, and I continue to try and get where Fran is.
And people are, like, actively starting to grab you as this woman is whipping up a hysteria. And can you please make me a strength check, both of you?
Oh, wow. That's a nat 20. Could have used that earlier. Thank you.
I got really bad. I got 9.
9.
I guess I'm just stressed out.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't want to hurt
I've
anybody.
been through a lot.
Yeah, and so people are grabbing you, and people are starting to yell louder and scream and say, like, they don't deserve, they need to get off the train. They're the ones who caused this. It's all their fault. And finally, you hear someone shout, "I was there! I was at the trial!" And everybody else goes quiet. And this person, barely more than a child, when she was at the trial, she was probably dressed in her very finest dress. And now it's stained rags. And she is shaking. She says, I was there. They're just trying to help. Please stop. They're just trying to help. I heard them, what they were saying. And Counselor Taryn, he kept trying to twist everything, but anyone who had ears could tell there's something else going on, and when the king was killed, something happened, and he came back wrong, but these people, they were using magic to try and help. Please stop, they're just trying to help. And everyone calms down a bit.
Who's gonna lift me through the train like Spider-Man without a mask on and say he's just a kid?
Oh, we're having a train moment.
And the crowd eases a bit and they let you through, though some are still, giving you wary looks.
I'm sorry about what happened, and we will talk about it. But right now, I need to check on my friend.
And Fran, are you just...
By the time you guys get to the car, Fran's not even in it anymore.
Like, where is she gonna go?
On the roof.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, Fran, you get up on the roof. What do you want to do? Are you just going to hang here? Do you have anything that you want to do before you get found?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm assuming there's space in the tunnel for...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Papas are up there, but there are like a couple train cars ahead of you. And the Papas, they've got a big gun. They're not paying attention to you at all. They're like looking out for dangers. You can definitely like hide from them behind like a chimney stack or something.
Yeah, I think Fran would do that, sit with her back to the chimney stack so they don't see her. And I think she folds her hands and she closes her eyes and prays and whispers, "We need to talk."
And you feel a finger run down the back of your spine. And when you look over, it's Phelan. Or not Phelan. It's the part of him that split off, the part of him that killed the king. And he smiles a little and he says, "You rang?"
And Fran frowns at him and reaches over and touches his face and looks into his eyes. What do his eyes look like, Kat?
They are pitch black. It's utterly pitch black. And
Yeah.
he smiles a little bit and he says, "Sorry, were you expecting my better half?"
And Fran shakes her head and she says, You're really not him, are you?"
I am. I'm just all the worst parts of him.
He's not him either.
No. If you squished us back together, maybe we'd be the same person we were. But I don't think that's possible anymore. And anyway, he's busy.
What does that mean?
He's still the god of rebellion, too. He's got other stuff going on now. I'm personally very, very in favor of what he's doing. We're getting more prayers than probably ever. And he looks at you, Fran, he says, "Do you want to see?"
See?
He nods, and then he puts his hands, he puts the heels of his hands over your eyes. And then out of that darkness rises a vision firsthand. And you see the sky open underneath. And when your eyes, his eyes, Phelan looks up, he's being carried by a winged tiefling towards Farah Mountain. And then the other Phelan, the one who is with you, takes his hands away. He says, "I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but he's doing both of us very proud."
Fran gives a shaky laugh. Wow. Well, She scoots back a little bit, leans away from him, and she says, I called you here because I need your help.
Really? I didn't think you'd trust me enough to let me help. I did just kind of blow up your whole fucking spot.
Well, I didn't say I trusted you, but I think Phelan, in whatever form he is, can be trusted to rebel against his father.
He concedes the point.
Sure. And Fran says, I think I need to change. I think everything we've been doing hasn't worked. And she pulls out Kai's diary and holds it out to him, and she says, I need your help and I need hers too.
And he raises his eyebrows and he says, oh, what are you planning?
I'm gonna keep a promise.
And he nods. Yes, that's not typically my area of expertise. But for you? And he reaches out and he cradles the side of your face where the scar has crept up over your skin. For you? Anything. Killed the king, and he in turn sacrificed the king to Torva, who then inhabited his body and became Dwarva.
Oh my god. Cat, how long have you been sitting on that?
Oh, for months!
Oh.
Literally months!
Oh my god.
You're so strong, Cat.